After the swearing in of mayors into the 17 local government areas of Abia State by Governor Alex Chioma Oti OFR, not much has been heard from them for the past 3 to 4 months. It is understood that the time frame is short, but the time frame is equally enough to prove yourself and to tell the people that you have the capacity to deliver. While some mayors have embarked on renovation and some reconstructions of the LGA Secretariat and other projects, some others seems to be sleeping on the bicycle. Because of the need to keep Abians abreast of what is happening in the LGAs, All Facts newspaper and Akukabia, hey, Akukabia man is here, will be touring the 17 local government areas in Abia State. If you invite us, we will come. If you don't invite us, we will still come. The people need to know what is happening in your LGA and confirm if the ideology of the governor concerning LGA is working or not. Our first port of call is Bende Local Government Area. We met a fine gentleman who is the mayor of Bende Local Government Area. He took us around, showed us what exactly he is doing, told us what he has done, and also informed us what he intends to do. Yes, it was an eye-opener for me, the Akukabia man. Enjoy this video, enjoy our exclusive interaction, and you can give us feedback via all our social media handles, All Facts newspaper on Facebook, AF Television on YouTube, All Facts newspaper on Twitter, All Facts newspaper on Instagram. You can also send us a mail, afnews@gmail.com. Let's communicate and let's discuss Abia and its local government areas. God bless you. Enjoy the show. We are with the mayor of Bende Local Government Area, and we are going on a tour of his local government to see. He will tell us what's on ground and what's been doing all this while. This is something that will carry through all the local governments in Abia State to get to know what exactly they are doing. Mayor, good morning. You're welcome. So, Mayor, let's go.
All right, thank you. I welcome all of you. It's my privilege to have you. And things like this cause us to more action.
Yes.
So that when work is going on, yes, people should have their own coming to assess your performance. Yes. So, as you can see, this is my little office. This place looks far clean. Yes, when we came in, it was a mess. So we decided to start some jobs, and then in order also to save costs, what we did also was to be able to maybe retain a few chairs for all these things that you can see. They are all getting new. We have to do a lot of renovations, screened it, and then did some local work and all that.
At least to befit the office of the chairman.
To befit the office of the chairman, and we also got the filing shelf, and also did a lot of work in the convenience area.
Okay.
So that when people come in,
they can have a good
somewhere that at least.
I know before it was very terrible.
No. It was more than that. But we know what we are coming to do, and we are ready for it. Okay. So while we worked on my office, we also worked on the conference room.
Okay.
And this is the conference room. Yes. You can see. And this table all came in newly just to make it very befitting.
Yes,
for you to be able to function effectively, you are supposed to make sure that your place of work corresponds and meets the status of that office.
Very true.
So that when people come around, they will see that things are going on. So you can see for yourself, at least it's more befitting now, unlike what we saw before. When we came in here, we saw just that singular small table, and that was it. But you can see how the place is looking now.
Yeah, obviously, we can see what's happening here. There's a lot of improvement in terms of the infrastructure on ground.
Yes.
And we are happy about it.
Yes. So we will take you around.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay. Where is yes. So we'll start from the hall and then we'll come back. Good. All right.
We can actually talk what's happening here.
Okay. When we arrived here, in keying in with what the state government is doing in terms of sports development. Yes, sports development. Of course, you are aware that the Governor's Cup is on.
Yes.
And then we needed to fully participate to show our abilities and capabilities, especially from our young Bendelites. So, but it was so embarrassing that we don't even have a singular court where we can practice volleyball, basketball, handball, and the rest of it. So it was just a bush that we met here. It was just a bush shielding these premises. So what we decided to do was targeting the future of the children in schools and improving their sports participation. We decided to do a standard 3-in-1 court.
Okay.
Where you will have a basketball, volleyball, and handball all in one court. You know, so that when we need to conduct any event or when we are doing any participation of any, we don't need to go and start borrowing. It was embarrassing for me to begin to talk to schools that are closer to us to allow us come into their premises and use their premises. So we decided to create a standard court, which will have a mini pavilion and then a parking lot this way. So you can see that work is ongoing. Yes. They have a target completion date of three weeks.
Okay.
So hopefully, if you are back here by first week of April, this place would have been ready. We're going to have a wire mesh, fully netted, so that we can also secure the access that will be installed there.
That's good.
Thank you.
Yes, I used to remember visiting here some time ago. This local government, even though it was expected to be a center of so many things, but then there was not much really happening because of the dilapidation of some infrastructures that are here.
Yes, it was a glorified, let's say, secretariat. It was overbloated because when you come in, you can't even see the next building because of bush. So we started by clearing everywhere. We have to personally, we have to immediately that same week purchased some equipment for the council to be able to maintain it. Because the man we have at the helm of affairs at the state is a man that doesn't tolerate non-performance.
Yes.
So we have to also match that speed, and that is what we are doing. But let's start from the hall so that we can go in and show you all that.
As we were passing, we saw the hall.
Yes.
And we saw a lot of bag of cement there. I just knew that must be.
Yes. We are going to commence perimeter fencing to secure the council, because we noticed that we have over 10 track roads. Over 10 track roads
entering this council.
And because of that, there is a lot of vandalization. People come in to cut away things as small as septic tanks. Things as small as window panes. The hall, when we came in, there was no single wire cable. They were all broken into and removed. So what did we do? We decided to bring it up to speed. We changed all the louvers, did a fresh protector to secure it, and now we are screeding. We'll go inside and you'll see it. That's the NDSA office, which was burnt by the IPOB during the crisis.
Yes.
So as you can see, we have all the GMPs securing the place. It's now well secured, and then what we need to now do is to make sure that we go into the building and then finish up with the painting. So in order to secure the premises, we liaised with the state government and we pleaded for support, which was graciously granted by His Excellency. And we were advised to commence the perimeter fencing of the council in phases. So what you can see now is what is left of a trailer load of cement, which we bought three weeks ago. So our target is to make sure that we mold as much as we can, maybe up to 30,000, before we now commence the foundations and the perimeter fencing.
To move
30,000 blocks. Because I didn't want to buy blocks because I cannot trust the quality of what they will give me, especially because it's a fence that's going to stay outside
it's going to be faced with rain and water and all the rest of them. So we decided to mold what we are using so that it can outlive even when we are gone. So that those coming behind us will see what we have done. So that is what you're seeing in there. And then you can see that the halls are undergoing screening now.
Yes.
Well, they have all been rewired. And then the protectors have all been fixed. The GMPs have all been fixed. The lights have all been restored. The stolen cables have all been restored. So it is just the final level of the screening, and then we'll go into painting. So that's what you can see going on here. And then if we have access to the offices there, you will see that everything inside was all burnt. So right now it's undergoing screening as well, and after which we'll go into painting as well. Yes. So that is what you're seeing in the multipurpose hall. Maybe we could go inside and then we take a further look.
No. Serious job is going in here.
Yes, you can see the workers are on site already, continuing their work. So at the end of the day, we are going to have a more befitting multipurpose hall for Bende Local Government.
So people can do their events
and then hold their meetings and all their seminars
in a very conducive
atmosphere. These fans have all been repaired. And then these track roads here is part of what we are going to block using the perimeter fencing so that we can forestall unnecessary trespass.
What about the issue of power?
Of course, it's a major challenge that we are having, but we have to improvise. So we have a standby generator. Of course, we also have the big and the small. So what we do is when it's needed, we use the small one. And then of course, we have to fix it when we arrive.
Okay.
When we arrive, we fixed it. So we are managing what we have.
Water. What is water?
Water is part of the job we are doing now. Water was not even running in the chairman's office the day I resumed. So I had no place to use. So you can understand that it's as bad as that. So right now we are reticulating the entire council, and that is costing us huge money. We've repaired the 2 boreholes already; they are working now. Now we are reticulating. We have a new tank stand that will serve the admin block, and now we are piping everywhere, moving from this hall because there are conveniences attached to it, but it's never been used for over 10 years. So we are bringing it up to functionality. So we are linking it to the borehole that we just repaired, and then we are reticulating the entire admin block, taking it to, there's a place we call skill acquisition and budget and planning, which have never seen water in how many decades. So we are making sure that everybody in the council
has access to water,
and all the conveniences, all the old sitters that we saw there, which nobody was using, has all been removed. So we are replacing them with new ones. So we will also show you as we progress.
Okay, let's go.
All right, thank you. Okay, so part of this renovation work includes the renovation of facelifting of the entire admin section.
Okay.
It also includes the renovation of the mayor's and deputy mayor's lodge, because we are here to work. So
they have a lodge inside of here.
There is a lodge which was not in use. So we are making it functional so that in case we have an emergency and we need to stay late or stay over, we have somewhere to stay. So we'll take this way so that we can show you. So we are working on those lodges. Now you can see that this is a new tank stand. Then the GMP tanks are coming in today. Hopefully they will now mount and begin to pipe. You know, you can see the work going on here, trying to make it look like a local government. Then there is the largest local government in Nigeria. And we can't leave it in this state. So I wouldn't know what previous governments were thinking, but you can see that we are here to work. So taking a look here, this is
I see solar and all that is there.
This is the cold chain.
Okay.
It's called cold chain. Is for the health authority department. Now when we came, there was no roof. Rain was going in. They only have a section of roof where you have the solar, and then you had window panes. And when I looked at it, I said, no, this cannot function under us. This is if my principal comes in here, he will ask you, what have you done? So we have to fix it. You can see that this is a new roof.
Yes.
The window panes have all been removed.
Yes.
So the GMP installers are working, and maybe in another 2 days, the installation will be complete. So this is now looking better. And we're also looking at making sure that its immediate environment is cleaned up.
Yes.
Yes.
Very important.
Okay. So this is the political block.
I can see it's been reroofed.
Yes. No, before that one is legislative block.
Okay.
This political block, all the almacos you're seeing are new. What you had, if we go close and you look at the floor, you will see that what you had there were all window panes. So we have to remove all of them and bring in new GMPs. And then all the doors were wooden doors that were rotten. So what we also did was to remove all the doors, and we are changing them with iron doors. Maybe if we go close, you will also see that. So this is the legislative block now.
I can see some work is still ongoing.
The only thing that we left there was the block work. Every other thing is either going or will be gone. The roofs have all gone. The protectors we are installing, the GMPs we are installing, the ceilings have been installed, the doors are all going. So the only thing we are leaving in this block is just the block work. So if we go a bit closer, then maybe we should go through this way and then we come out through the other way, so that you can see the extent of improvements we are making to make it befitting and make it convenient and comfortable for workers to come and discharge their duties.
Because the work environment also matters.
It has to be conducive, and productivity is tied to conduciveness. So, and that is what we are trying to achieve. So you can see these are all new installations that were just being made, and if you look at the ground, you will see the window panes and the old ones and the old doors and all that. Yes. So this is the extent of work that is going on. You can, if you take a look this other way,
there's a lot of work.
You can see that the windows have all gone, have been installed. The doors, those are some of the rotten toilet system that we met here. Those are the rotten things that you met. It has never been used in the past 10 years, you know. So, but right now we are changing all those things. So these doors are all going. You can see the new doors are coming in.
New doors.
Yes, new doors, new windows, protectors, and then a few other things that we are doing. So this is the legislative block. These ones are all the old stuff that we removed, bringing in these new ones. You know, so we'll go through this area. Yes.
Work is still ongoing here.
Yes, work is ongoing, and like I said, I've given matching instructions to all the people that are here, because of course we are doing direct labor. Also, they have to conclude this work in another 3 weeks. So you can take a look.
Work is really ongoing.
Like I said, it's only the block that we left. Every other thing has been removed. These ceilings are going to be replaced. The doors have gone, the protectors, everything is new here. And you can see for yourself. So this zinc is going to end at the other smaller building.
Yes.
Why we left there is that is their data home, where they keep the verification machines. So we didn't want rain to touch it. So once the day we are removing it, we are replacing it that same day. So let's go down this way so that you see.
So I hope the legislative chambers, we are going to do some touch on it.
Yes, of course. The legislative chambers will come back to it. You know, this government is very prudent, and we want to be financially responsible. So what we can save in the process of reconstruction, we try to save. So we've inspected it, and we will do a further work on it. Yes, we will come back to it, but we just want to be done with this side. So you can see these are all new doors, new windows that have been installed. It was all wooden doors and window panes. So the work is ongoing.
Work is ongoing.
Yes.
The rotten doors.
The old wooden rotten doors.
Yes. So we'll go to the back so you can see the other departments that we're also working on.
So the issue of workers.
Yes.
There have been issues of workers, some formerly workers not coming to work and things like that. Is there an improvement in that? What are you doing in that area?
Yes, that is the first issue that we faced when we arrived. When we arrived here, we had an interaction with the workers, and they presented their challenges. And we also observed that the attitude to work is nothing to write home about. So we decided to engage them amicably, to advise them that they should ensure that they come to work. And at the same time, we give them assurances that what they are seeing today, we are going to commence immediately.
Yes.
So we found out that they were motivated, they were uplifted, and then they started coming to work. And that is also why I am making sure that we put a speed to what we are doing.
Yes.
To make sure that the offices are ready and that they come and they see a conducive atmosphere. But that is without prejudice to the fact that some of them are still not coming to work. But that is an issue that we are going to address. We have started addressing them. We did an audit last week. We have the results of that audit. And at the appropriate time, we will advise the supervisory ministry upon their request, and then they will take the final decision. But what we are doing is, let's make sure that we fix the environment. So if you look at this, now this was as if it was an ancient library. This is the library of the local government. So it was leaking, and no windows and all that. The windows were all stolen. They were all stolen. The window panes were removed.
People will just come and take away the window.
Yes, because the council is not secured. The council is sitting on an expanse of land that is over 400 plots. So there is no fence. So you now have people creating track routes into the council from every part of the environment. So that exposed us to a lot of vandalism. So that is part of the reason what prompted me to say, okay, while we are doing this, let's even start something. Let's begin to secure some of these areas that they are coming in from. So you can now see, so that when we have and that's why I'm insisting, and which is also what we are doing, that every property here, every office here must be fully protected with protectors
for the windows.
And for the windows, and the doors will no longer be wood. It has to be metal doors, so that we'll be able to at least secure the premises, while we are also commencing the second angle of the other angle of perimeter fencing. So if we go close now, you can see that these are all new.
Which of the blocks is this?
This is works.
Okay.
But they were not using it because none of the rooms were habitable. There were no ceilings. There were no windows. So what we did now, we have to de-roof. These are fresh roofs. Then you can see there are new ceilings. Then you can see them. We are just de-roofing. Then we have covered the ceilings. Now we are on doors and windows. And after which we will come to painting and the smoothing, because most of them, the floors are all gone.
Yeah.
Yes, the floors are all gone. So for now, we will smoothen them, make them clean and neat so that people can use them. You can see the library. So there were no windows before, just a few of them that have these window panes. So what we are doing is make sure we have de-roofed and giving them a new one. Now the Aumako people will come in and finish up the outstanding jobs on them.
The protector in that last one too.
Yes, the protectors.
So what of security, apart from the burglary proofs you are putting? Are there no internal security for the local government?
Of course, we were blessed when we came in. Part of what I noticed was that there was no security, whether police or civil or vigilante. There were no security at all. So in my first security meeting, I mandated the security team to form a joint task force that will begin to help us in securing the environment. I also engaged the community to provide 6 able-bodied youths with good integrity and standing in the community to help us. But coincidentally also, while we were in this process, we now received a call. I got a call that I will be housing the Operation Crush team for the 3 local governments between Bende, Aruchukwu, and Ohafia. So that they will be housed in Bende Local Government Council. So after like 3 days, I received 21 officers. But at the end of the day, I understand they will be up to 30. So as against employing these fresh hands now and then incurring extra cost, I decided to discuss with them so that in the night they will do this.
Play a role in securing.
Yes, they will do the security thing and secure the premises. So while that is ongoing, we'll do the much we can with the perimeter fencing, and then when we watch their itinerary, their scope, because of course they have a scope of work. You know, we're only bringing this in based on our mutual understanding. And once we are able to agree on certain things, we will still bring in the vigilantes to come and help to also perform the security function. So for now, we don't. That is why we're able to bring in materials. If it was before now, you can't bring in materials. And there were so much rascality about it. People will come in and take things even when there are workers. You begin to imagine the rice mill that was vandalized over there. I was asking the workers, how could somebody come in, carry rice mill as heavy as the machine is, leave the premises, and nobody accosted that person? If you look around the other premises, you will see tank stands with no tanks. People come in, carry tanks. How did they even carry it? Is it by vehicle or by head? So you see a little bit of connivance as well between these, in quotes, thieves and
the
workers.
Yeah.
In as much as we don't have factual proof and direct evidence to tie them, but circumstantially, it's showing that there is connivance. Because there are things that have been stolen here that ordinarily you don't expect a singular individual or even 2-3 persons to come in and take it.
Yeah.
It's not possible. In a broad daylight, it's not possible. Even in the night. There's no way you tell me that somebody came and stole a sumo that was used to drill a borehole. It will take the person time to open the thing and pull it out and bring out the rope and the cables. So there is connivance somewhere. So the attitude is what we are preaching against. And I know that our people in orientation agency have a lot of work to do. And we also encourage them to do that. The attitude of certain workers needs to change. Because they don't see government properties as their personal property. Yes. They see it as government property. So they can deal with it anyhow and anywhere. And that is where the problem is.
Yes, the government raised that matter during the last press conference.
Yes.
As regards some projects which the government is carrying out in Aba, some gutters, people will just go break the gutters and take out the metals that are used. So
by the time we criminalize by the time we criminalize them and set examples, people will desist from doing that. Because the culture of lack of ownership, that ownership spirit is not there. It's not there. So for some of us that are coming in to fix these things, we feel pained when we see certain things. To them, they are not used to seeing people work for nothing. Just putting efforts to make sure that the system works. They are used to sharing. They are used to, bring it, let's redistribute, it's government owned. But that is not the language we are speaking. So like my principal will say, we have removed the feeding bottle. So now we need to also change the mentality and culture of the people. So that let them begin to understand that government property is your property and your duty to protect. You know, that is the challenge we are facing there. But I believe that it's a gradual process. And that when they see that there is no option to it, then they must fall into line. Yes.
So the lodge, you talked about what locations of the lodge?
Okay, we may have to take a walk there. So this is the BPROS, which is also a department here.
Okay.
So we also reticulate, like I said, we are making sure that people at least have functional conveniences to use.
Yes.
There is water for them to drink, and that the environment is conducive. So
those properties are also in the local government.
They are also in the local government. What you are pointing at now is the local government guest house.
Okay.
which was leased by the past administration to a company for 10 years. And the lease is subsisting. But we are reviewing the lease to be able to decipher to what extent there has been full compliance with the terms and conditions. And if there are places we will need to harmonize, we will do that. Now, before this building that you're seeing now is the skill acquisition center. Yes, we are also hitting the place. The water is going there because now there is nothing like good convenience and all that. So as we are refurbishing and renovating, we are making sure that the environment is conducive for everybody, especially the workers.
The local government is quite big. Does this place also lead to inside?
To your left, It's still the local government property.
Chineke.
There are a lot of encroachments. There are a lot.
You've not started it. You have to go further down.
Now we will still have to walk up to at least do like 10 minutes walk to get to the end of this other way.
That's serious.
So there are a lot of encroachments. But of course, you know that we can't handle all issues in one day. So we are also reviewing certain encroachments where people have converted government lands to their properties, and then people who had ab initio received allocation is now claiming it was a sale. So all those issues we are itemizing and harmonizing, and we will we'll look at them, set up a committee, and give fair hearing to everybody. And after that, we will take the next step. So we will take a little walk towards the lodge areas, because the work we made on ground, it becomes imperative that sometimes we may not live here. Yes, we may have to supervise.
However, the idea of local government is that those lodges are for the chairman and the deputy chairman to be able to stay inside and exactly see the challenges and how to resolve them, so that when there are decisions to take even at night, you're on ground to take those decisions.
Yes, that is the thing. You know, the people that were here before, but didn't think that is their responsibility.
Yes. There needs to be a good environment before you can
do that. As a matter of fact, we have a pending investigation being undertaken by the panel on recovery of government properties. Before we came in, we had documents, and we also briefed the majority of the properties of this local government were stolen. They were taken away by one or two past officers of the council, including a former chairman. So, as a matter of fact, one indigene of the community, that's before we came in, decided to take it upon himself to write a petition to the panel to investigate that issue. So the panel is investigating, and because it's sub judice, we may not want to comment on it only for pending with the resolutions and the rulings of the panel. Yes. Before we had a man standing there. We had a lot of things that were taken away, but at the end of the day, we will get the ruling of the panel and we'll be guided by it.
I wonder how people just think that government property is their personal property. And they'll just do away with it.
When abnormality exists over time, it becomes a norm. Because they've been doing this thing over time and nobody is challenging them, they have now begun to think that, okay, that is the way of life, that's the way of doing things. You know, so, but thank God that God answered the prayer of Abians. And Dr. Alex Oti is now in power. So by the grace of God, people like us will help him in this, our own area, while he focuses on the generality of the state to succeed. Because what we met here, you couldn't come into my office before now, you know that we just finished the renovation works. So these are all local government's property, from this way onto the road going to Timbozo.
Serious. So what is in that area?
Well, this is supposed to be quarters for HOS. So, but this is where we are temporarily housing the Operation Crush team.
Okay.
And the customary court. Because their building was burned down and nothing has been done. So temporarily we are housing them there, and as we progress and with the support of the state, we will be able to give them a permanent solution. So this is the Deputy Mayor's Lodge. Work is ongoing there. This is supposed to be the secretary to the local government quarters, but you can see the state of affairs there.
That's terrible.
But because we can't do everything at the same time, we decided to pick some of the key projects and then go into them. Then maybe as we progress, we'll be picking them one after another, and then we'll be fixing them. What you're also seeing there is a government property. That's supposed to be the original permanent site for legislative quarters, where they're supposed to have their offices and their chambers. That's the legislative hall. So we're doing a few here. You can see what we saw here. Nothing to write home about. We've been able to remove all the doors, windows. Then we are doing some tilings, changing the doors and all that. So that's what we are doing here, so that in case we work overtime, he will also have
where to relax
against the next day's job.
But this place will be cleared now.
Yeah, of course.
We have turned to a farmland.
Of course, we will clear it. We will clear it. We are working with the agric department. So because I have told them, these ones that are coming out, they should make sure they clear it and then possibly use agricultural products that are lesser in grass growing. You know, maybe like pineapple, potatoes and something, so that it will be cleaner. So they are going to clear it, just like they are clearing this one. You know, so that's the mayor's lodge. That's the mayor's lodge, and we also work is going on there. You can just, when you take a look at the security house, you will now see what we met inside. The security house will tell you what we met inside. So work is ongoing, and my target is that by the end of this should be ready so that we can go to the next phase, because I mean, this government is prudent and it's very practical in its approach.
So when you say direct labor, that means the local government is is directly giving it to laborers to work on.
No, that
you have workers here who are doing the job.
We don't give out contracts, signed contracts to third parties.
Okay.
To come and do the job. We are doing it through the Department of Works.
Okay.
We will now get to the market, we'll get quotations and get the best price in the market and get those materials in and use partly members of the works department and partly normal artisans.
Yes, okay.
And then put them to work. So like what we are doing here now, we are trying to get the best of the prices we can always get in the market. So when we get it, we'll compare which one that is cheaper and okay for us. We'll be able to say, okay, go ahead and come and do this job. So that's what we're doing, because I mean, this process of issuing contracts is a bit procedural. The issue of tender, newspaper publication and all that and all that. We won't meet the target. We will not be able to achieve our set goals.
Yes.
Yes. So
it's more expensive.
So, and more so is more expensive. So that is that's what we are doing.
So in area of lighting up at night,
yes,
you have solar.
Yes, we have
lights within the local government.
Yes, we have solar lights in the local government, and I think we have a number of about 60 something. Yes, I may not have this bush. We'll cover this building. So we just okay. Let's do this, clean it up, and then have something to present to our kids to practice with. Development here. There is still a lot to do. We didn't get down to the proper quarters area. If we get down there, we will see the issues on ground. So all these things we are also going to, of course you can see as we are working, we are repainting, to make it more comfortable. Yes. In the office. All right. Thank you.
Thompson. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are viewing us from. This is Focal Point, and my name remains Emenike Irebu. And Focal Point is a program which we use to discuss with political bigwigs in our society, business people, and all relevant people in our society to look at issues and provide solutions to it. And in this series of Focal Point, we'll be visiting different local governments in Abia State, different mayors, to see what exactly they have been doing for the past 3 months, what are their ideas and objectives and plans for their people, and other issues that will crop up during the discussion. Remember, my name remains Emeniki with the anchor of the show. And today, I am at Bende Local Government Area of Abia State. Of course, Bende is the biggest local government in Abia State, and if care is not taken, it may be the biggest one in Nigeria. And today, we are with the mayor of Bende Local Government, the person of Honorable Barrister Chijioke Nwankwo. Honorable.
Good afternoon, sir. You're welcome, Mr. Emenike.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for accepting for us to visit your local government and
Thank you.
discuss with you.
Thank you.
So in this our series, just like I earlier said, we'll be looking at what is happening at the local government areas. Let us see if the aspirations of the governor of Abia State, Dr. Alex Chomaoti, OFR, is what is being replicated at the local government area by the mayors. So we'll be looking at those issues with the mayor of Bende. So mayor,
Yes, please.
we have taken a tour of your local government, and we have seen a lot of things that you have been doing. From your administrative block, from your office, you are trying to retrofit and renovate most of the facilities, or all the facilities you have here, buildings and structures.
That's correct.
How has it been? What was it like when you came in, and how's it been now?
Well, thank you, Mr. Emenike. Upon my arrival here, I was in a state of shock with the level of dilapidation and what I met on ground. I met buildings without roofs, ceilings that are all falling over each other. People do not have places to stay, and you see workers coming in and hanging under the trees. So it was pathetic, and I began to ask myself, what class of people have we had in this state and in this local government, that we will have a local government of this status, of this caliber in this state? So it was a complete shock for me. It was in a state of dilapidation, and I knew that we are here to work. So my work started the very first day we arrived, and that is when I was able to tell myself that no matter what, that in my first 100 days, if we have not completed, we would have gone very great extent in renovating the council headquarters, and that is exactly what we are doing now.
Okay, just like you have said, exactly, we have taken a tour of the facilities,
Yes.
The administrative block, which is the office of the chairman, and the conference. A lot of renovations have taken place here. There are also a lot of things happening in different areas. Let's look at the 3-in-1 court we met there. We saw that was under construction.
Yes.
What was the idea behind it?
Okay, like I said, when I came in and with the structures I saw on ground, I knew that we have a lot of work to do. Like you just mentioned, just permit me to go through them. And I saw that the multipurpose hall that the council was calling multipurpose hall is just an empty block. There were no GMPs, it was empty, everything was vandalized. There were no protectors, there were no doors, there were no windows. And I told myself that this cannot be where the council will be holding their meetings. Bende is the largest local government in Abia State, and we can't have this as a multipurpose hall. Now approaching the administrative block, the legislative block, the finance, the library, the Department of Works, and down to the Department of Budget and Planning, everywhere was just a shambles. And I said, no, we have to get to work. And we began to do the assessments on need basis. And we were able to get the buy-in of the state, get the full support of His Excellency, Dr. Alex Oti. And then we commenced the renovation works that you'll see. Just as you have seen yourself, we don't believe in billboard display. We believe in facts on ground. Thank God you were able to visit today and that you have seen for yourselves. The majority of what we left are just the block walls. We are changing everything, ranging from the doors, to the windows, to the ceilings, to the roofs. And we are also guarding them with protectors, so that we are sure that these things can exist even after we have gone. Now, back to the question that you asked. When the sports competition for the local government arm was supposed to kick off, I observed that we do not have a singular court where the students can practice and train. The only thing we have in this council is the field and nothing else. It was embarrassing to me as a person to begin to contact the Catholic school to grant us access to have our students to go there and train for basketball, volleyball, handball, and the rest of them. And I asked myself, these are responsibilities of government. Let us lead the way. Let us start something in that regard. So because of that, I decided that part of my first project in the local government will be to have a befitting 3-in-1 court that will house basketball, volleyball, and handball all in one court, where students can come at their schedule and programs permit to practice. So that when we have a competition, we don't need to go and start begging for where to use. So that is actually what prompted my decision to include it in this very first phase of these projects. As you have seen, the project includes renovation of the hall, complete renovation of the administrative blocks, reticulation. The boreholes that I met here were not working. There were no water in the council. The toilet seats were all gone and broken. So right now we are reticulating, we are taking water from the hall to the admin block up until the skill acquisition centers, the budget and planning department. All these places, we have all piped them, bought fresh new sitters and hand wash machines that they will use, so that people that are coming to work will have a very comfortable and convenient place to work from. So I will tell you that it was because of my passion to leave a positive mark in order to have a befitting atmosphere in line with the agenda of His Excellency. His Excellency insists that things must be done rightly, and that's why we are embarking on this project. So for that sports court, what prompted me is to save the council from further embarrassments, so that when there are sports events, people can use them. Thank you, sir.
Okay, and the mayor has given us insight to a lot of things that he's doing, and has also explained to us the essence for the sports courts, which the council is putting together. During our tour, you talked about a project which actually caught my heart, because even in Umuahia, the secretariat, the state secretariat, is at the moment being fenced. So you talked about perimeter fencing.
Yes.
How that project is a good one. How are you going about it?
It is good and massive. It's good and huge. But Rome was not built in a day, so we have to start from somewhere. I'm not an architect, but the information available to me and the records available to me suggest that we are sitting on somewhere close to 400 plots.
That's too much. That's big.
So the cost of fencing is huge. So what did I do? I sat back and I asked myself, do we allow vandals to continue to access the council from all looks and crannies? The day I arrived there, we had over 10 track roads, and that aided the vandalization that we met on ground, to the extent that even the external AC unit in the chairman's office were stolen. Cables were roofs were broken into, and electrical wires stolen away. So I felt, okay, we have to start phase by phase. Let us begin with perimeter fencing, phase by phase, such that we are able to secure the premises, so that government facilities can remain in place. Because what I saw here is a situation where people care less of government facilities. There is no sense of ownership. The explanations you get for some of the stolen assets does not meet my rationality. Like I mentioned while we were on the tour, the rice mill was completely vandalized. And I began to ask myself, how can somebody call me and carry such heavy equipment, the milling machine, and nobody saw him? The only conclusion I can draw, or inference I can draw, is that there is clear case of connivance between the perpetrators and possibly some of the workers. So I said, okay, we need to start this perimeter fencing. We are making efforts as it is today. We have brought in 1 trailer load of cement. I believe your team saw it at the hall.
We saw it.
And because of my resolve to leave positive marks in line with what the governor's instruction have told us, and his mandate and his intendments for the state, I decided that we will not be buying blocks because we cannot certify the quality of the blocks. So we are presently molding, and I intend to mold at least 500 bars for a start before we now go to start excavating and then doing the foundation and then commencing the fencing. So that way we will be able to forestall further vandalism, at least to a reasonable extent, in addition to some other security measures that we are also putting in place to secure the council. So that all this money that the government is putting in now, even in the meanest pocket that the state is experiencing, these assets will be preserved.
Yes, I think that project is a very wonderful one, which even the governor is trying to do in so many places at the state. Yeah. Okay, we have been talking about the council.
Yeah.
Let's look outside a little bit. Bende Local Government is more than just the council.
Yes, please.
What are your plans during this short time or any amount of time you've been in office? Or what have you been doing to reach out to Bende people in general?
Yes, you know, my people, we decided to start from the inside and let's make it a bit comfortable and then we proceed to the outside. But it's not as if that we just left ourselves concentrating on the council. Let's take the issue of agriculture, for instance. Upon arrival, of course, my people are basically farmers. What we have are more than 70% farmers in Bende into different crops. So what did we do? We keyed into the state agenda. The first visitors that came through the Ministry of Agriculture, the Bulgarian visitors who came in to inspect our lands to ascertain how viable they are. They took soil tests. We were the second local government they visited because we followed it through, because we know that if we sell through and the soil samples passes the test that they are being subjected to, the mechanized farmers that will come in from Bulgaria will set their industries in the local government. They will site their mills in the local government. They will employ our people. And there will be reinvigoration. People will have more money in their hands. So after their visit, yes, we are still waiting for their results, the results of the soil test. Thereafter too, there were this team also that came as well. The CSS farmers from Nasarawa State. We also keyed in.
CSS farmers, yes.
Yes, we also keyed in and we worked with the state as well. So when they came, we also took them to rice plantations and other locations. And they also inspected. And after their inspections, they also discussed with us. And we are ready to partner with them. We already engaged some communal leaders, some chiefs, who are willing to discuss with their council of chiefs and make good portions of land available for farming. That notwithstanding as well, on my own and on our own as a council, just 2-3 weeks ago, we distributed in this council specialized rice grains. The distribution information are online. Over 150 bags to a few rice farmers. It was a test project that I decided to embark upon. Let them go and make sure that they mark the area that they are planting it. And let's see the production level. And then when we see it, we will be able to now ask for more grains. We worked on it and we received it. And we'll now go to the state and say, okay, we have tested this. Our people enjoyed it. And look at what it produced. So we can do more in this regard. And I know the governor. I know His Excellency. He will support us. So in terms of agriculture, we are looking at that. By the grace of God, if the results of these visitations and the testings comes in our favor, that is going to improve farm produce and farm productions in the state. Now, we also look at a few other things. We have few very big markets in this local government area.
We have the one that is close to you.
We have the one that is close to me here. They are all in kind of shanties. We have the Uzuakoli own. We have the Ibere own. So we have these proposals being worked on. Because my intentions is that we will be able to go to this market and at least do some palliative works. Even if we don't build a brand new or ultra-modern market, we should be able to create a conducive atmosphere for business. None of them have functional boreholes. We intend to do all that. We intend to do a little bit of electrification through solar energy lights. So, like the Uzuakoli own, the access routes are bad. So we are going to go into all that. Now, in liaison as well with the state, we have a lot to do in education. As it is today, we have in Bende 81 primary schools and about 26 secondary schools. Most of these schools, over 50% of them, are in a very terrible state. Of course, I understand that it's a joint project financing approach. The state government is doing a lot through the Ministry of Education. The other day, we had the announcement in the news on the number of schools that will be rolled out in a model form. So there's going to be a systematic approach to it. So that notwithstanding, we're also looking at the few that we, on our own, can also be touching while the state is doing the ones that they are doing. It's part of our agenda. Most of our people do not have access roads to their farms. We commenced grading in December. We were one of the first local governments that started in December. And we were able to, for instance, link Ugwueke Farm Road to Eziukwu Farm Road. Of course, we have received commendations. We also were able to link Uzuakoli Ezeanwota Farm Road, which is in Eluoma. We linked it to Akole. For ease of transportation of farm produce. We also visited Ugumpa, and we also graded from Ugumpa and linked it to Umokabia in Omahia North. Also to boost economic integration and interaction. We were also at Umuhu for over 11 years. Umuhu people have not accessed Bende through Ameke Aba. We were able to link Umuhu to Aba. The last time they came here to issue their congratulatory letter to us. Now they can drive through those areas. We understand the magnitude of the work that we have at hand and the paucity of funds, but we are ready to do as much to improve on the lives of our people. Like I said, Bende is more than 70% farmers. There are a lot of places we have not gone to. We also went to Akano Amokwe and got to Okai during our rural grading projects. And to the glory of God, in partnership with the state, the deputy governor saw what we did and where we stopped. Partners came in, took up from where we stopped at Okai, and took it to Akeze, the boundary with Ebonyi State. Those roads are there for verifications. This is not a government of showbiz. It's a government that understands that we are here to change the narratives. So, in addition to what I have listed, there are a lot that we intend to do. Most communities don't have potable drinking water. These are basic amenities that councils can provide. So as we progress, of course, we are doing this in phases. So the next phase, after this first phase now, we are moving majorly 80-90% outside the council. While we also look at how much we can still be doing in the council. For instance, if then the local government do not have a police station that is functioning, if you're driving out of the council, you will see a burnt police station on the left side of the gate. That was during the crisis of the unknown government crisis. And since then, for over 2-3 years, those policemen have been housed and is still presently housing themselves in a line of rooms meant for ordinary accommodations for staff of the council. So, in terms of security, we are also looking at such improved relationships to see how we can also touch them. In addition to that, just an overview of what we have, like you asked, what are we doing outside the council? When we resumed, in my first security meeting, because of the drug abuse that I saw during the time of the campaigns, we moved around and I saw the issues. I saw the extent of drug abuse among my brothers and sisters. In my first security meeting, I decided to set up a joint task force to combat drug use. And in that regard, we decided to first of all ask the area commander to secure an approval and authorization from the commissioner. But just as he was feeding us back that, okay, we are ready to start, the commissioner has granted the approval. And graciously, the state informed us that they will be domiciling a team of Operation Crush in Bende Local Government Area to combat all forms of social vices and illegalities. So as it is today, we have in this council over 20 armed military, police, civil defense, joint task force team domiciled in this local government, operating within Bende Local Government, Arochukwu Local Government, and Ohafia Local Government. And I can tell you the results we have been getting. The other day they came in with dealers of meth, which ordinarily in local parlance is called Orumere. They came in with bags of marijuana. So a lot of successes have been recorded. So in that angle of security, we are also partnering with them to make sure that the local government is calm. So there are a lot of projects we are going to execute. But like I said, it's going to be in phases.
Gradual phases.
So we started with the council, we'll be going out of the council.
In the area of IGR, is the council trying to improve upon the IGR of the council, the local government?
Of course, if you listen to the series of engagements with the Board of Internal Revenue in the recent past, you will know that this government is very serious with IGR. The only thing here is that we are trying to move away from the ordinary, so there are a lot of challenges. You know, when you are trying to introduce a new thing, you will always face challenges. But your ability to surpass those challenges is what matters. So the government decided to implement the tax collection and consolidation law of the state. And that way, revenues will be collected, revenues will be collected by the Board of Internal Revenue and redistributed between the state and the local government. So we are partnering with the Board of Internal Revenue to make sure that the subheads of the revenues that are accruable to the local government. Of course, I know you would have heard about the taxes and levies approved list of collection Act 2015 as amended. We clearly tabulated the series of applicable revenues that are due to the federal government, the state, and the local government. So the ones that are due to the local government, we are making sure that they are properly codified in the system, because the app is still being worked on based on the feedback. But we are hoping that, not minding the teething challenges, it has started working. People have started complying on daily basis. Some will log in, some will seek advice to make their payments. But there are still some teething problems, which is being worked on. And we know that sooner or later, it will become a perfect system that works for everybody. Our duty is to ensure compliance. And how do we do that? In collaboration with the Board of Internal Revenue, we were able to set up state joint tax team from all local government with present with representatives. We have collection teams on ground in the local government, and then we have enforcement teams on ground in the local government. So they have spelled out duties, and those duties include ensuring compliance, ensuring enforcement, and making sure that money is collected goes back to the state purse, and then from state purse, a Board of Internal Revenue will redistribute to the local governments. So ours is to make sure that we work with them and ensure compliance, so that the state will get more to do more. It's when people pay their taxes.
Yes, you can get more to do more.
You get more to do more. Yes, sir.
Yes, we are still with the Bende Local Government Mayor, the person of Honorable Barrister Chijioke Nwankwo. We are still with him. Now we're going to another area of the discussion. So let's see what's going to say as regards what the present governor of Abia State is doing generally in the state. Let's look at the state level.
Yes, please.
Just a few months ago, the governor commissioned a road that also passed by Bende local government,
yes,
all the way to Ohafia.
Yes.
Overall, what is your view as regards what the governor has been doing generally in the state for the past about 10 months?
Well, I will tell you that in my next life, I will still, if I have the privilege to serve under Dr. Alex Chioma, I will do that. He is a man of his words. He's a man that I have followed for some time now, since 2014. I have been on this mission to rescue this state. And I thank God that, not minding the blood-bed robbery in 2015, that God made it to happen in 2023. Now, asking me how I feel, I'm the happiest person. And that is why we are here we are fighting to match him a bit. You can't match him. He's a performer. But we are struggling to beat his pace. It's great. People begin to wonder, where is this money coming from? The man is a reservoir of knowledge. And he knows what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. He knows how to get it done. So I am very elated. For the first time, the roads have not been completed from Omahia to Uzuakole to Ohafia, which is the one you're referring to, that was flagged off sometime in February 7th to be precise. Yes. We were all there. But now you can still drive on that road with your eyes closed. Yes. Because the major areas have been taken care of. Just imagine what will happen after completion. The mandate he gave is that the original projections of 18 months will not work for him. Yes. And they were mandated to complete in 12 months. So expect in another 8 months or less, you can just imagine how those roads will turn up. Look at what is happening in Aba. And the question will be, where were these funds? What were they doing? This past administration, what were they doing? But I thank God that the Abians are seeing the dividends of sticking to Dr. Alex Oti and electing Dr. Alex Oti. Just yesterday, there was a press conference yesterday that the Aruchukwu Adam, yes, has also been awarded.
I got it to be also flagged off today.
Yes, it is being flagged off today. And save for certain engagements, I would have also gone in solidarity, even though my colleague in Aruchukwu will be there. So that road is over 30 kilometers. I don't have this, but it's over 30 kilometers. Then there is another one that passed through Eluama.
That is
which is
about 11 kilometers.
11.7 kilometers. Remember, we are not competing with Lagos, like my principal said. He is competing to be like Dubai. So just watch, relax. And as we progress, before the expiration of this first tenure, you will see that Abia State, even presently, Abia State is being ranked as the #1 in terms of what is going on in this present administration. But I can tell you that by the time Dr. Alex finishes, between now and 2031, Abia State will become the London of Nigeria, the Dubai of Africa.
Okay, on a final note in this interaction, what would you be telling them, the people, what should they be expecting from you and your administration on a final note?
Well,
you can actually speak in our local dialect.
I will tell them to continue to be prayerful. When you're trying to change a narrative that has existed over time, when abnormality continues to exist over time, people tend to see it as a norm. They don't care if it is right or wrong. So there are going to be a lot of changes. Things will be done differently to achieve positive results. We are not going to be answerable to individuals. We are going to be answerable to the people. So the projects that we will be embarking on will be people-oriented. It's not going to be targeted as taking something to put in somebody's house because he's a leader. The leader we have is God, and the next is the governor of the state, whose interest is making sure that the dividends of democracy is taken down to the grassroots. So our duty here, my mission here, is to replicate what His Excellency is doing in the local government. And I know that he is ready and willing to give full support, provided that there is full accountability. And that I guarantee. So Bende should relax. We have just started. We are coming to the communities, and we will make sure that we touch the life of Bende in a way and manner that they will know that this administration is completely different from what they have been saying. And at the end of the day, they will know that people with integrity came to Abia State. People with the intent to work for the people came to Abia State. They will know that I came to Bende to work for Bende, so that I will be remembered for my handwork. I will be remembered for what I have left from Bende, and not what I have gained as a person. I am not here for personal aggrandizement. I am only here to serve on Bende, and that I shall do. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we have listened to the mayor of Bende Local Government Area. Obviously, a lot of things is happening with this local government, and a lot of things will still happen. I'm assuring Bende people to just stay hooked, stay focused, and stay committed to this administration. And I know they will have a lot to enjoy. Just follow us on all our social media handles. On Facebook, you will see All Facts Newspaper on Facebook. On Twitter, you will see All Facts Newspaper on Twitter. On Instagram, you will see All Facts Newspaper on Instagram. On YouTube, where you find all our video, you look for AF Television. We are everywhere just to serve you better. My name remains Emenike Rebu, the anchor of this show, Focal Point.